Andhakarharnau Vishayanmukhanam Sriyamridashanarato Nijasevakanam Nirbhasako Nikhila Jogu Mahapatanam Didipati Bhuvi Gadadhar Dharmadipaham He Ramakrishna Madhuram Tavasacharitram Tat Punna Nama Madhuram Madhuram Tadangam Sambhashanam Cha Madhuram Madhuram Cha Ganam Tat Kimnu Janna Madhuram Bhavati Tvadiyam. From Ramakrishna Karnamritam. The luminous lamp of Dharma manifested as Ramakrishna in this world. It removed the darkness of ignorance in worldly minded people, nourished his disciple with the nectar of love, and illumined all great paths of yoga. O Ramakrishna, your divine life is sweet. Your name is sweet, and your form beautiful. Your conversation and songs are sweet. Is there anything about you that is devoid of sweetness? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Sri Ramakrishna, a divine life in pictures. This is the book. That is the subject matter topic today. Today I shall not lecture. I shall only tell you about this book, the story behind this monumental work, this pictorial biography of Sri Ramakrishna. It is a very important book. When you read it or when you open it, you will find its gravity, its importance, and its historical value are immense. Though I am the author of the book, but it is a teamwork. A group of dedicated, talented people worked behind this book. We call it this American ingenuity, how these American people worked behind this book. This book has been printed in Canada by Friesens, one of the best printers in North America. And we received 4,200 books on 19th April. Of course, 2,000 we sent to India and 2,200 we kept in this country. We prepared a pamphlet for this book, so I shall read to you so that at a glance you may know that what is this book. This is the pamphlet. We printed 1,000 copies. You will. Those who are now buying, we are putting one pamphlet on each book anyhow. A book like no other. This pictorial biography of Sri Ramakrishna gathers together 639 images, 639, including many rare archival photographs. Ramakrishna's divine life is portrayed through photos and narratives, allowing readers to visualize the people and places connected throughout his life. Ramakrishna's innumerable devotees and admirers all over the world would be able to experience his divine play without leaving home. These things I elaborately wrote in the preface, but let me make a comment on this theme. Sri Ramakrishna said to Holy Mother, taking his own picture, এই ফটো এর ঘরে ঘরে পূজা হবে. This picture will be worshipped in many, 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 many homes. When I was working, I was thinking, when this book will go to each home, Master will enter there. Sri Ramakrishna will enter in those homes. Ramakrishna comes to life. The hundreds of evocative images in this book will leave hundreds of indelible impressions in readers' minds. Ramakrishna's life, message, and divine play with his disciples and devotees come to life in this pictorial. These rare and precious images allow readers to meditate on him with their eyes open. We generally meditate closing our eyes, but this book will teach you how to meditate on Ramakrishna with open eyes. Tatra pratyaya ekotanata dhyanam, Patanjali says. Ekopattaya, one thought, non-stop, continuous flow of one thought on a particular object is called meditation. This book will serve that purpose. Meditation in a book, when there is no desire to practice japa or meditation, these wonderful pictures and the stories in this book will transport readers to a higher spiritual plane and help them to enjoy the company of Ramakrishna. Just as a painter puts several coats of paint onto an object, this pictorial will apply several coats of devotion onto the minds of devotees, so they may have constant recollectedness of Ramakrishna. I shall elaborate this thing a little bit more, but do you know what I was thinking? Sometimes in a spiritual life we pass through ups and downs, no doubt about it. Sometimes we feel terrible depression and dryness, no doubt about it. Sometimes we feel the dark night of the soul. We pass through very, very hard time. But this book will remove all those obstacles and barriers. I am pretty sure, I am definite. You can prove yourself. You will not have to trust me. That I challenge to the readers. Please prove yourself. Now I shall talk to you about the preface. Before preface, let me first talk to you about the cover. This is the cover, front cover. Dakshineshwar temple garden at the background, below the Ganges with boat with high tidal wave, and then Sri Ramakrishna appeared from the Ganges. Of course, I mentioned what it means. With the Dakshineshwar temple in the background, Ramakrishna rises up from the holy river Ganges to sanctify humanity. About the photo I shall talk to you later. That is the theme. Temple Garden of Dakshineshwar, where Sri Ramakrishna plays his divine play for 30 long years. And then this holy river Ganges. River is the sign of life. Anyhow, that is the front. And the back, near Kamarpukur, I found this lake in 1977 and took this picture. Do you see? There is no ripple, no wave in that lake. That means a yogi's mind, when it becomes calm, God reflects. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. When the Vritti stops, God reflects. So that is this book, at the end, you will find that Ramakrishna is reflecting in your mind. That is in my mind. Cover. And then you will find, before I enter the book, I shall have to show you another thing. This is called end pages. Generally, some people keep, this is the board and this is the body begins. This is called end page, end sheet. Generally, people keep this thing blank. So I asked my graphic artist, we shall put 4 dham, 4 abodes of Ramakrishna. Kamarpukur, Dakshineshwar, Kashipur, Belur Math. This is the Kamarpukur in 1930s. You will find there is a pond, water. Then you will find Dakshineshwar temple garden, front Ganges, water. In the back, you will find Kashipur garden house. There is a pond, water. Then a Belur Math temple, front Ganges, water. This water is a sign of life. This book will invigorate our life. That was the idea. 4 dham. Then I shall make some comments about my preface. Two most important books of Ramakrishna are Leela Prasanga, Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. Second, Kathamrita, the Gospel of Ramakrishna. Sharadananda and AIM worked on these 2 books to depict Sri Ramakrishna's life and message. And this book will help to visualize Sri Ramakrishna's divine play. From his birth 1836 to 1886 when he passed away. Ramakrishna is an incarnation of God, avatar. As we know the Vedantic tradition, when religion declines, religion prevails, God incarnates. Krishna mentioned in the Gita. That is the reason we find Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Sri Ramakrishna, all these great avatars, their lives and teachings come to us all through the ages. And each avatar comes to fulfill his mission, what is the need of that age. Very important. And they do not come alone. They come with a group of people, those who will carry his message. It is like a drama. In a drama, we need some good characters, some bad characters. All good characters cannot make a drama, or all bad characters. So in Sri Ramakrishna's life also, as we find in other avatars, There is hypocrites, drunkards, prostitutes, good people, bad people, all mixed together made this drama interesting. Then when we read the gospel, that is the way we enjoy. All types of characters. Saints, sinners, agnostics, atheists, devotees, gyanis, rich people, poor people, drunkards, prostitutes, critics, hypocrites, actors, singers, students, teachers, judges, lawyers, doctors, scholars, all types of people we find in this divine drama of Ramakrishna. It is said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. That is a famous saying. How these pictures and the text and the caption produce this book, I shall tell you. We generally connect God with God through our seeing and hearing. Through seeing and hearing. Let me give an example. I am reading Ramayana to you, and you are listening. It has one effect. But when I bring Ramananda Sagar's, that famous Ramayana, that picture, Ramayana, that serial, we are excited. We see and we hear, we see living Rama's life. Audiovisual has a tremendous power. So this book will act like that, though I cannot show the movie, but at least you can see and hear both from the text. In the Sri Ramakrishna incarnation, I always say two things are unique, which we do not find in any other incarnations. First, pictures. We know exactly how Ramakrishna looked. All his pictures are taken through camera, and camera does not lie. Rama's pictures, Krishna's pictures, Buddha, Jesus, other incarnations picture we see in the market, they're all imagination. All the sculptures we see, all imagination. But Ramakrishna's picture came through camera. Second, gospel, Kathamrita. Im recorded Sri Ramakrishna's teaching on the same day. He said, I have never recorded anything which I have not seen, which I have not heard. So we can understand how authentic that book is. What is in my mind? You see, when Arnold Toynbee was writing the history of the world, he could not take Rama and Krishna in his history. He said they are myth. I do not see any historical truth, some object. Buddha we see, the edicts of Buddha. We find, I do not find it. But Sri Ramakrishna says, no, it will never go into the domain of myth. 500,000 years after, these objects, these pictures, and the objects he used, all these things are there. So you have no chance of imagination or anything, myth, nebulous things. You cannot feel it in Ramakrishna's life and message. Krishna mentioned in the Gita, Bhakta tu ananya shakya ahang evam vidorjuno gyatum drashtum cha tattena pravishtum cha parantapa. There are three ways we can reach God. First, gyatum, to know. intellectually, and hearing from our teachers. From books, from the scriptures, and from the teachers we know about God. That is called Gyatum. Drashtum means to see, and Pravishtum means to enter. So this book will help us to enter Ramakrishna. And Ramakrishna will enter within us. How? These pictures, pictorial, will 639 impressions will be on your mind. So which will be living. That is the way Ramakrishna will enter within us. The natural abode of the fish is water. If you put the fish on the ground, it flops and flounders and dies. Similarly, a devotee's mind, the devotee becomes very uncomfortable when there are worldly, materialistic places. They want spiritual places, that is, so that they can survive. So this book will serve that purpose. You will get like oasis in the desert, so that you can drink the freshness of the eternal, accelerating water. When people ask how we can attain devotion or increase our love for God, it reminds me that Sri Ramakrishna's visit to Radha Bazar, Calcutta, where he went to see a studio, how to take a picture. The cameraman explained, do you see, this is the negative. On the negative there is an emulsion of silver nitrate. And the picture comes on the silver nitrate, and then I can make any number of prints. Hearing that, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. If you have a deep coating of devotion in your heart, you can have an impression of God there, and you can see God anytime. You know, I was thinking about this emulsion. I have seen in my village, my mother used to make mango pulp. Generally in May, June, a lot of mangoes. So she used to, so that the mangoes will not be bad, so she will be put a mat and make a mango juice and spread on that straw mat and cover it. First day you can see the mat, and then they put in the sun one coating. Next day another coating. Next day another coating. After 3-4 coating, you do not see the mat at all. It becomes so thick. Then when it becomes this much thick, dry, then she will cut it and put it in a container and save it. So that when the mango season is over, we can have our dessert. Milk, rice, milk, molasses, and mango pulp. It is delicious. So I was thinking about that mango pulp. You cannot see it. Similarly, when your mind is covered with these 639 coatings of Ramakrishna, you will find Ramakrishna is there. I am just telling you that how it will work. I gave another example which I read to you already. Sometimes we find the wood. We paint one coat, first prime, then one coat, 2 coat, 3 coats. Then wood will not be visible. And if the water or rain comes, wood will be unaffected because that paint will protect it. So if you have a mind is coated with thick devotion, no worldliness will not come there. Because it is so, your love of God will not bring the love of the world there. That is the way, please try to think about this book. Another thing already I mentioned in the very beginning of that flyer, I know, let me tell you what happened. In 1977, I went to India. I shall tell you more details that, and with 50 rolls of Kodachrome, 36 exposures, 64 ASA, I remember, 2-3 cameras. Intention that I shall bring India, holy Kamarpuku, Jarambachi, Belurma, Dakshinesha to the American people. So I was then in Hollywood. I made, my goodness, I think 14 trays of slides. And Disney's vice president gave me carousel projector. Show people. So Hollywood Temple, so many places all over this country, I showed my slides. Because I knew many people will never be able to go to India. So I must bring Thakur to them. That I started in Hollywood. People are so impressed. Here also I showed many times my slides. And that became the basis of this book. I shall talk to you much later. So what happened, those who cannot go to India, sitting in America, in your living room, open this book, you see that India, Ramakrishna, Kamarpuku, Jarambaji, Belurma, Dakshineshwar, and all the holy places are now on your lap on the couch. That book will serve that purpose. Another thing in the preface I mentioned, when Krishna left Vrindavan, his foster parents and the gopis are very sad. To console them, Krishna sent his cousin, Uddhava, to Vrindavan. So Nanda, Krishna's foster father, told Uddhava, listen, it is from the Bhagavatam. Oh my dear, all our activities stop when we think of Krishna's heroic deeds, his boyish playfulness, his loving glances, his sweet smile, and his charming words. Our minds are absorbed in Krishna when we see his playground, the banks of Yamuna, Govardhan Hill, the forest of Vrindavan, all of which were touched by the blessed feet of Krishna. I made a comment there. May we have a similar experience of Ramakrishna as we read these pages. This is my sincere prayer. That is the way I finished my preface. In this project, I am immensely grateful to Ashutosh Das. He was a grandson of Padmamani, daughter of Rashmani. In 1977, I went to his home in Italy and asked his permission to photograph Dakshineshwar. He gave me permission. I am really indebted to that person. And of course, my editors, Kim, Sasio Kent, Prabhajika Shuddhatma Prana, Linda Prue, and to the Swamis and devotees of India who supplied photos. And Diane Marshall played the very, very important role. She is the graphic designer, did the important job of typesetting, layout, photo editing, and jacket design. That is my preface. Now, I shall talk to you about this book. Some people ask me, Swami, you are preparing Ramakrishna's pictorial. Ramakrishna has only 3 pictures. Only 3 pictures. How can I make a pictorial out of 3 pictures? It was a challenge. Please remember Ramakrishna's pictures. First picture was taken in 1879 at Kamal Kutir, Lily Cottage at Keshav Sen's house. It was a Brahma festival. Keshav Sen invited Sri Ramakrishna to attend the festival. Sri Ramakrishna went, and Keshav engaged a photographer to photograph the event. Sri Ramakrishna did not know about it at all. What happened? Chiranjeev Sharma, who was a great singer and Sri Ramakrishna was fond of his singing, he started to sing a devotional song. Listening to that song, Sri Ramakrishna got up, Om, 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 saying this, he got up and went into Samadhi. And you will see in that picture, you will see in that book also, his nephew, Hriday, grabbed him and held him because he might fall. So that is the first time Ramakrishna was photographed in 1879. The second photograph was taken in 1881 in Radha Bazar studio. I already mentioned about it. The third photograph was taken in 1884, most probably January, February. Sri Ramakrishna went to embrace Lord Jagannath out of ecstasy and fell down and broke his hand. Bhabanath wanted a picture of Sri Ramakrishna. So what happened, he engaged Obinash Da, his friend in Baranagar, to take a picture. So he, without letting master know, because if he asks, master will not allow him. Please remember, all 3 photographs are taken of Ramakrishna during Samadhi. Samadhi has never been photographed. So Sri Ramakrishna, then how to get master in that mood? Swamiji says, Swamiji or Bhabanath are close friends, please don't say anything, let us go. There Sri Ramakrishna, they are talking, and Sri Ramakrishna sat north west corner of Krishna temple in Dakshineshwar, facing west. At that time, Sri Ramakrishna sat there and talking about God and went into Samadhi. Swamiji said, hey, this is the time, take the photograph. And it was, you remember that old time photographers, the tripod and box camera, they put a cloth over the head and they peep. It is a glass negative, of course, at that time. And they took the photograph. And the cameraman found that his master face was like this. So he took his hand on his chin to lift the face up. But his whole body went up. Swamiji said, hey, don't touch his body. Take the picture as it is. Don't delay. So he took the photograph. That is the picture we see as a shrine picture all over the world. Later on, Sri Ramakrishna said, এটা খুব উঁচু যোগাবস্থার ছবি. This picture is in a very high yoga stage. Sri Ramakrishna approved it. Then another story goes, Ramdatta brought a photographer and took a picture of Sri Ramakrishna. Then Sri Ramakrishna saw the photo and said, do I look so angry? Ramdatta thought that master did not approve it. So he took the negative and the photo and threw into the Ganges. 2 more pictures are taken of Sri Ramakrishna when he passed away. It was his doctor, Sarkar, gave 10 rupees. And the Bengal photographers took these pictures. I have the original. I brought from Udbodhan and make a copy here. and return to them. I shall talk about these pictures later. Anyhow, these are the 5 pictures we have. Now I shall tell you a little bit about my adventure of photography. I joined in 1960. Within 1 or 2 years, they made me the in charge of the photo department. And one Swami Yogatmananda, Devan Maharaj, he went to Kailash, and he had a small camera. He gave that camera to me, and then after a week he took back. Uncle Maharaj, you gave and you took back, what is it? Well, do you know what? I don't want to ruin your spiritual life. You are a new brahmachari, just joined, and photography is a very, very expensive hobby. You will ask Jabuchi's money and you will ruin your life. You will have to buy the film, you will have to develop it, print it. That is, Uncle Maharaj, you saved my life. Anyhow, I had a desire to get best picture of Sri Ramakrishna. So in the warehouse I found one, that one is in my shrine, in my room. That picture I carried, Hollywood people copied, when I was in Hollywood I made a copy from it and they sell that picture. I was not happy. Then I have 71 photographs of Swamiji at that time. Now I have 95 photographs. I told you that story. One old man bought 71 pictures and framed it all over the wall. And he says, I'm an old man, I cannot meditate, but I stand in front of each picture 1 minute. That is where I get 71 minutes meditation. Amazing. Then when I came to Hollywood, I took Sri Ramakrishna's picture to Caltech. That is one of the best places in this United States. All NASA works is done there, Caltech. I want to magnify Thakur's eyes million times so that I can see whether his eyes are open or closed or what is the condition of the eyes. They printed a bunch, one of our Jabuchis was there, so gave a bunch of these photographs. They magnified Sri Ramakrishna's face, eyes, hair, everything they magnified. I did all sorts of research in this country. Anyhow, in 1977, as I told, of course, Swami Krishnananda in Hollywood gave me all the films, cameras, and 3 cameras. Pentax, Konica, another camera I forgot. 3 cameras. One was in black and white and 2 colored. All that Kodachrome. And do you know what? I shall tell you a little later. Then in 1982, I revisited India. There I met Brujokishore Sinha. I still remember. He was the curator of Victoria Memorial Hall in Calcutta. And I went to his home, 32 Ashutosh Mukherjee Road. I went to his home and knocked at his door. Uncle, I heard that you have taken the photograph of the photo which Holy Mother worshipped and Ramakrishna worshipped in Udbodhan. Yes. When I want to borrow that and I want to make a print from Bombay Photo Stores and return your negative. No, you not to return, it is yours, you take. He gave me 3 negatives. You see that photo, I shall show you in this book. That photo, they will not take you to the studio. So he went with a powerful camera and from there, from Udbodhan Shrine, he took the pictures. And then, I must show you. That photo That negative I brought in 1982. I brought to Hollywood. I called Mr. John Hens. He's the vice president of Disneyland, and he makes all Mickey Mouse. He started Disney with the owner, with Walt Disney. He took the negative and developed it. This is the artwork. And then he worked nearly 2 years. I told him, don't polish it. Keep it as original as possible. This is the second generation. And see, his wife told me, Swami, he bought one brush with one hair so that he can preserve Sri Ramakrishna's beard. This picture we sell, second generation. Those who buy pictures, this is the picture we sell. I'm just telling you that how I work with it. John did it. 82. Then 86, 1986, 1990, 1993, 96, 97, 2001, 2004, 2007. Every time I went 30, 40 rolls of that Kodachrome. Then after 2007, only digital camera. So all the slides, nearly 10,000 slides are, nearly 80 trays are in our room, in upstairs. We found another wonderful person, John Lewis, from Chicago. He took all these boxes to his home, bought very expensive equipment, and digitalized each slide, cleaning it and digitalize it. That became the asset, and that became the main theme of this pictorial, so that we can get colored pictures. I am really grateful to John. In 2018, okay. In 2018, summer, I started this project. 10 weeks, day and night. Every day I decided 4 or 5 pages I must get. I must get. I shall tell you, it is not easy. It is easy to write a book, but it is very, very difficult to write a pictorial. Study, meditation, visualization, and where the photos are available. Then started to collect photos from Belur Math Museum, Kamarpukur, Jairambachi, Dakshineshwar Priest, Varanasi, Vrindavan, various museums, Victoria Memorial Hall, and Diane also collected many, many pictures from Library of Congress, British Museum, from internet. God bless internet. We got many from this internet. Diane is our graphic artist. You people read the book, but you people do not know how much work and involved behind this book. First, do you know what we do? I do, whatever I do. First, I visualize and write the contents. Because the contents will guide me. Birth and early life in Dakshineshwar, Calcutta and Dakshineshwar, return to Kamarpukur and marriage, Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual journey, pilgrimage to holy places, the stage for Ramakrishna's divine play, an expedition to Calcutta, meeting savants of India, calling the devotees, training the torchbearers. Towards the end, his spirit continues to flow, sacred mementos of Sri Ramakrishna. These are the 13 chapters. First we have to imagine. And then you make a dummy. Here is a book. I did not bring my dummy. So here I visualize that this page what will go. Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna's birthplace. Where is the photo? This is the photo. I put in this place, this photo will be available. Then put the caption. After the caption, what text will explain that photo? That comes. So in this way, at that time in the dummy, nothing is there. Only this photo available, the caption, and the text. In this way, chapter by chapter, I have to work. First, you will have to visualize what photo is available, what story I can connect with this photo. Hours after hours. Then I shall bring those things. Then do you know what? Then I have to type all the captions, all the text I have to type, otherwise my graphic artist will have to search here and there. I present everything to her chapter by chapter. That is the way it goes. It is not so easy. It gave me ideas, imagination, common sense, and the strength. But Diane is brilliant. She is very creative. And she did the layout. Fantastic. Beyond description. She is really wonderful. There is a saying, God helps those who help themselves. God helps those who do not help themselves. This book came out of grace, out of blessings of Sri Ramakrishna. We are just the instrument. Money does not produce this book, I tell you. It needs a lot of love and dedication. Friday I was telling Diane, some people go to Rishikesh, Uttarkashi for tapasya. In the cave they meditate. That tapasya you did in front of the computer. Thousands of hours she spent. I also spent thousands of hours. You will read the book, wonderful, wonderful. Behind the wonderful, how much labor and sweat are there, you don't know. George also did a lot of work. We worked on the captions. Sometimes if the captions are not right, we rewrote. Then reorganized the text. George also did a lot of, the final thing goes from George's hand. It is an assembly line. I produce, it goes to different editors, then it goes to Giant, then it goes to George, and then it goes to the printer. It is an assembly line, I call it. It's a teamwork. And everybody give the ideas. Now I shall tell you some highlights. Ancient, I already told you, Ramakrishna's face. About Ramakrishna's face, Burjogisha Sina, that you will find in page 35. This face. In 9 and 35 also. That, you see, nowadays some artists, they're changing Ramakrishna's face. Eyes open, sometimes eyes closed, sometimes really it is so distorted, it bothers me. That is the reason I tell you, I want to show you a couple of things. Do you see this picture? This is the original photograph of Holy Mother taken in 1898. It was with Nivedita. Then it came to Swami Ishanananda. Then Ishanananda gave to me in Advaita Ashrama. So it is here. From this photo, you will find what is called the, where Holy Mother was, which is called the Shodashi Puja. Page 71, you will find this is Holy Mother's exact untouched photograph. This photograph we sell. If you see her eyes, her face, her hair, all are just like that is original mother. And then, do you see this photograph of Swamiji, meditation pose? Remember, this picture was taken in 1896 in London, nearly 125 years old. This photo is held. John Haynes worked on this book photo also. So these are the original things I wanted to show you, just to tell you. And do you know what? We got a company in Rochester. They have acid-free board. This is acid-free board. And this is the plastic. This is the way you can preserve. We spent a lot, thousands and thousands of dollars. And another thing I forgot to tell you, it was Swami Vidyatmananda. He went to India in 1950s and 60s also. Sannyas was 63. I helped him translating. He stayed in Kamarpuku Jairambati. But American Western people do not understand Ramakrishna's teachings. So he went to the villages and took those pictures and made this book, Ramakrishna's Teachings Illustrated. It came in the Vedanta in the West magazine in 171 issue. I wanted to show you that how Western people worked. Ramakrishna, rural Bengal. You will find in the beginning, I went sometimes in summer, rainy season, you will find rural Bengal. Or Ramakrishna, the environment where Ramakrishna was brought up, where he grew. His early days, from 1 to 17, he lived in village. And then we came to British India, British Calcutta. There we see what a difference between this life that Sri Ramakrishna led. So, then another thing I want to tell you, in this, Jayan was telling that how difficult it is. In this album, some are digitalized photo, some are black and white, some are from the halftone which made pictures, some are from painting. There are 5, 6 sources the photos came. And to make the balance in the coloring, and she put duotone and all these things, it is a masterful, it is really a masterpiece, I tell you frankly. It is not so easy. And the color combination. I was telling our George that take this book in the sun and see the difference. The two Panchabhuta you will find side by side, you see in your room and outside, you will see the difference. Then Sword of Kali, Swami Vidyatmananda took many pictures. So I got help from him. Then you will find Ramakrishna's room, page 37. You see, I went to Dakshineshwar in 1950. I was 14 years old. At that time, the floor of Ramakrishna's room was red cement. Then in 1955, the centenary of the Dakshineshwar, they excavated, they removed that original cement floor and put mosaic. They changed. Very sad. We do not have too much knowledge about history. Then the Kamarpuku Jairambati, those things that we will find, we try to get pictures as early as possible. Now Kamarpuku Jairambati is like city, like town. Electricity, running water, television, that Kamarpuku Jairambati are gone. Everything changed. Then Hridaya's house, page 54, the God Sri Ramakrishna slept in his house. All those things you will see. But you know, the earliest picture of Dakshini, of Panchavati I got, 1896. That picture you will find in page 58. Oh, you will see it. And I search that 60, 61, 2 Panchavati you see in the sun. Then 62 Bell Tree. That picture I took in 1977. Whenever you see in the caption 1977, that means my picture. You know, Thakur trained me, nobody trained me. That perhaps it is his wish that I started to collect all these pictures from the very beginning. It is Master's will. That bell tree is gone. Panchavati is that big banyan tree is gone. Even the pedestal, they bulldozed it and planted it. So when you will open this book, you know, your mind will go there and you will see how under the Panchavati Totapuri lived and the cottage Sri Ramakrishna had Nirvikalpa Samadhi. All these things you will see. Your mind will go back hundreds of years, 130, 40 years back. That I wanted to give that ideas and thoughts to Panchavati. Then see the son, the Ramlala, some images are stolen. Holy Mother's original photo I already showed you. Then page 76, a collection of Ramakrishna's photos. Early in the morning, Sri Ramakrishna's, he has a huge collection of photos in his room. Kali, Tara, Shodashi, Krishna, Jesus, Brahma, all this. He used to chant God's name from 3 o'clock and pray for his devotees. He used to pace in his room. That you will feel it. That photographs that I showed. Oh, that one of our devotees, they helped all to collect all these things. And I also took some pictures from the wall, from that slide, cleared it and enlarged it. Golden Varanasi. We got it from the internet, but original, we cannot use that photo. So Diane, through the Photoshop, can do miracle. Our Diane is all miracle works. I had a desire that the Veena, Sri Ramakrishna listened. I want to take a picture of the Veena. I couldn't get it. Then I asked the monks. I heard that Veena is in Royal Palace Museum of Varanasi. So our monks went to that Royal Palace. The Maharaja of Varanasi is the president of our hospital. So the Maharaja gave permission. They took pictures and sent to us. Listening that Veena, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. You know, you will go there. Then Vrindavan. Many pictures. Then one thing you will see, the wooden sandal of Chaitanya, 560 years old, nearly 600 years old. I remember in 1960 I went with the monks to Navadvip. I touched that wooden sandal on my head. Now they put it in a silver case so that it will not be worn out. That picture you will see it here, 500, 600 years old. I took pictures of each wall of Sri Ramakrishna. Even, I read Aim, and Aim used to say that in the south side of the northern veranda, standing there, Sri Ramakrishna used to bid farewell to the devotees, those who would come by horse carriage. As if you will be there, as if Sri Ramakrishna is being goodbye to you. Then Roshik's house, that also 1977 I went, where Roshik died, that sweeper. Sri Ram, he told Master, so many people are getting blessing from you, I am a sweeper, I cannot touch you. I am an untouchable. Will you not help me? You will see me at the time of death. And Sri Ramakrishna appeared before him. That Tulsi Mansa, that photo I have, that you will find it in page 114. Then one untouched Ramakrishna's face, 117, we got it from San Francisco archives. Jagadambar Chubi. Then, at that time in 1860s, no, there is not too many camera, we see a photograph of Mathur's wife, Jagadamba, 121. Then Gopal Verma's house. It was 27 December 1970. I am asked to come to Hollywood, so I was working on Ramakrishna biography and pictures. I was in Mayabati for 3-4 months. So I came to Calcutta. I went to Dakshineshwar on that day, took some pictures, then went to Kamarhati. I went there, I saw the door is locked and the house is closed. I asked the neighbor, he said, Uncle, I want to go inside and take a picture. Oh, you will have to go to the High Court. That house is under litigation. Uncle, High Court, I cannot go there now. Then I do not take pictures. I went to Mr. Nair, who was the manager of Bombay Photo Stores, was my guide, was with his camera. I saw the window, there is a plywood. I pushed that plywood and I asked that man, come on. So he got up. So we sat there, we entered inside. He was telling me, you are a robber monk. Uncle, yes, I will have to work for Sri Ramakrishna. I go inside, we took pictures, and then we came out, and again we put that plywood back with the brick. Window was open, through only covered with the plywood. So that you will find page 126. I remember that day my father died. Then we showed Ramakrishna what kind of carriage Sri Ramakrishna took while visiting Calcutta, 129. Then 134 you will find an European boy standing in the bench where, that is Vidyatmananda's creation. That you will find, 134. 148 you will see the sunset of Dakshineshwar. I remember, I ran to take it was 1977. I ran to take the picture of that sunset. Moni Mallik's picture, we could not get it. But in the death picture of Sri Ramakrishna, only his face is available. Diane took that picture and made a Moni Mallik's picture. We have nearly 16 women and nearly 34, 30 double male devotees. Their stories, they played with Sri Ramakrishna's divine drama. Their stories you will find in this book. Then Ramakrishna's disciples group, 7, it is page 169, Diane added 7. Another thing, in 1977, I was in Benares. One of my friends told me, the rosary and the ochre cloth Ramakrishna gave to Latu Maharaj are there. It was in 1886. So I went there and I photographed that rosary and the ochre cloth. That you will find in page 180. Then 183, shampoo good mothers, where mother stayed, you will find it is beautiful. Then we put all Ramakrishna's doctors who treated him. I was telling them, you know how Ramakrishna managed? Do you know how? Ramakrishna told from Calcutta, when he came to Kashipur, house rent is 80 rupees. See, Ramakrishna told Shurendra, you have money, are all the people, they are all Chaposha Kirani. They are all clerks, they are small earning. So you pay the rent, whatever you say, sir. He told Balaram, I don't like to eat my food. They are raising subscription, collection. I don't like it. You take care of my diet. Whatever you say, sir. Of course, Sri Ramakrishna at that time, cancer, eating only farina pudding, milk, and tapioca, barley, and just simple food. He covered. Then, who will cook? Holy Mother. Nurse, he has 12 nurses. Sri Ramakrishna's all 12 young disciples, day and night, round the clock, they took care of their guru. And who are doctors, all best doctors, treatment free, medicine free. Sri Ramakrishna managed himself, because these doctors will be proud that they treated Sri Ramakrishna, they will get more patients. Ramakrishna doctors, Ramakrishna gives. In Dukshi, you will find some places I pointed out. Of course, M mentioned the place Sri Ramakrishna slept on the floor at Kashipur Gajan house, in that room, and passed away. At that time, your mind will be there. You will see it. Sri Ramakrishna's dead body we do not show, because it will hurt the devotees, and Sri Ramakrishna to us ever living. So Jayan covered Sri Ramakrishna's body with flowers. His cot, his pillow, all the people, all intact. Only body we covered with flowers, which was put at that time. So his flower, we did not put extra flower. That flower, through Photoshop, he covered it. That you will see. And though his body was cremated, you can see the Kashipur, and the other side is Belur Math. Though his mortal body ended here, but he was really established there, the other side of the Ganges, in Belur Math. Then you will find all great thinkers of the world, what they said about Sri Ramakrishna, and all the great artists of the world, how they depicted, made pictures of Ramakrishna. Then you will see, you people go to Belur Math, see Ramakrishna's image. You do not know Ramakrishna's resting place, sleep, which is in the 3rd floor. There, you will see those pictures where you people have no entry. So there you will find Master takes rest. Then we put all from the Gospel, the M's diaries and some prints from the diaries. And then we put a lot of mementos at the end. That you will enjoy. That is just why we got it from Belur Math Museum. Mementos. And at the end we put 4 vital questions. We have a few, 3-4 pages empty. I asked George put the 4 vital questions of spiritual life. M asked on the 2nd day meeting with Sri Ramakrishna. That will be 1 page, and next page was chronology, and next page I put 1 picture of Thakur, which was my favorite picture in my room. I sometimes meditate on that face, that illumined face of, smiling face of Sri Ramakrishna. When a person goes into Samadhi, what happens to his face, that I showed. Anande Futifata. When there's so much bliss inside as his face is about to crack, like a pomegranate, like a melon. That is the way we enjoyed the book. And of course we put 3 pages references so that future generation will not be able to challenge, where did you get all this information? Well, that is the, my goodness, I took 10 minutes extra. I cannot help it because I wanted to, I could talk more, but I wanted to show a full picture of this book and the importance. And anyhow, it is, many people are buying this book, I see. It is Master's grace. स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, who established the universal religion, who is the embodiment of all religions, and is the foremost among all avatars. We bow down to him again and again. Peace, peace, peace be with all. Thank you. We shall go for Zoom. Give us a few minutes time. Thank you.